Hello. Here at ARC, we pride ourselves on our ability to remain safe in all working conditions. Today,
That's what I found.
we're making a safety video today.
Oh. Sorry.
Put that away! Today we are going to be making a glider. Well, you can't see it. Because somebody moved the freaking light.
Sorry. I'm an engineer, not a filmmaker. Alright, so, yeah, basically what he said. What the heck is that?
That was our old rocket launch stand.
So it starts with big stuff. This is 6mm plastic sheeting. I have it left over from my hockey rink last year that we have in the backyard. And I kept it because I was like, hey, we might use this for something. And sure enough, I got the idiot idea to try and build a glider that can support one of us.
One of us. Not two of us.
Maybe not even one of us. Maybe it's for maybe it'll only be like this big. No,
it'll be decent size. But
all right, so we've taken the liberty of making some very scientific designs, and here, let's see if we can see that better. Nope, that doesn't. That's worse. Okay, there we go. So we've got, what'd you call the shape again?
Chevron.
And then we've got this one, which is the deltoid.
It's like a wide deltoid shape.
Yeah, stretched home base.
Yeah.
Looks like to me. Okay, so we appreciate you for understanding this very complex drawing. I got it. You still can't see the stupid chevron.
That's fine, because it doesn't matter, because we're not going to use it. Because it'd be stupid.
Okay, so yeah, what you also can't see right here is a list of pros and cons, and we only came up with about 2 or 3 for each. So we can ignore this. You didn't see me erase anything. But basically we came up with this shape is going to provide more lift, and it will be more controllable mostly. But it'll also require a bit more of this material, the 6mm tarp mostly is what we're concerned with. And it might be slower too, which is good because I don't really want to be going Mach 2 in this.
Well, I mean,
not that we're getting there.
Mach 1 wouldn't be too fun either. I mean, it would be fun.
This is just for jumping off the hill down the street.
Yeah.
But, alright, so luckily we have this book right here. And this is, let's see, 1971 edition, the Encyclopedia of Home-Built Aircraft. You can't get these anymore because they don't want you to build aircraft. So,
well, also, it was in 1971. I don't know how much I trusted science because they still thought being gay was a disease. So, I mean, I don't know what to trust in the 70s, but they were already at airplanes in the 70s, so I'm sure it's fine.
So I think we're going to do something like this. Not, of course, based off of these plans, simply because of the shape. We're going to do as much of this to ourselves as possible, but we like the shape of it. It looks like it's going to be okay. I haven't read this at all. We're just kind of playing it by ear because that's kind of how we roll around here. We do scientific stuff,
but we do it on our own terms.
That's a good way to put it.
Most of the time.
So I think this is just the plan. So most of this video is just going to be us talking about it and going through some of it. And I don't know. We're going to have to take a look at FAA regulations too, so we don't get a $20,000 fine. All right, let's get started.
Yeah, we had to remove a light because there was too much glare on the whiteboard for us to accurately represent what was on it. Yeah. Okay.
So we've taken the liberty to draw a full-scale drawing of this glider that we are going to build. No, but actually yes. Well, we've decided. I mean, with every good design, you make a model for something. So this looks like it's gonna be a model. This might actually. this might be the actual size of a model. It might not. I just kind of randomly drew lines, and then this is the shape that we want. So, anyways, so this is pretty much how it's going to be. This is the shape, and then this will probably be one of the support beams. What do you call those? Support structures in the
ribs. I'll call them ribs.
Well, they're ribs, but this it's going to be holding us. We will be right there.
I mean, first of all, that's not to scale unless that's a human baby.
No, seriously. Okay, so that's where the weight's going to be. So it will. I mean, of course,
it'll have to have.
Yeah, supports, and it might. Yeah. So if we're doing ribs, I'll do the ribs like this, just so you can kind of tell a bit better. But so we might have cross beams coming in here and then going around this frame.
We'll likely need cross beams because like that's where up to 140 pounds of weight will be.
Up to 140 pounds. So how much you weigh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 110, so that'll do. All right, so we don't know how this is going to work because the problem is with these kind of designs is that airplanes have, gosh, it's unfortunate I don't have an actual airplane around here. There's an airplane right down there that's a bit, no. Oh, yeah, here. Okay, so this is a model airplane. These gliders, this was probably a $1 glider from Dollar Tree, but and it's not great at all. But so the whole point, the issue that we'll be having is these are well balanced. So the design that we have here is pretty much just the wings. Now you take these out, and even if we were to tape these together and fly them like this, it would just go and maybe do the loopity-loop.
It wouldn't fly.
But simply put, it wouldn't fly. Now, what the tail section does on this airplane is it balances it out, and then you've got the elevators and rudder back here, not on this obviously, but it'll help balance it out when you're flying. The issue that we'll be having with ours, as I said before, is we're not going to have that, so it's got to be somehow incorporated into this shape. Whether it's a tilt, I don't know for sure how hang gliders do it, other than just leaning.
The thing is with this shape, first of all, this is too thin. There's not enough lifting area. So, like this, it would be longer if the triangular part would be more pronounced. And this has almost no weight to it, so it wouldn't fly stably. So you would need weight in some area of it to pull it down so it's going against something with the wings. Like, there. I'm not good at explaining it.
Okay.
I'm not a professional. But that's as far as my knowledge goes right now.
Alright, so yeah. I mean, there's not much to explain here. This is just the basic principle. We want to glide. We want to do it for cheap. We already have the stuff that we can put on the top. This will definitely not be for like actual flights and stuff like that. It's just a proof of concept. Please do not quote us on this, and do not follow these instructions. We will make several parts of this of us showing how we're doing it, but we are not giving building instructions because this is a very stupid idea, and we're just high school juniors right now that are just trying to have some fun with it. And this is not, I cannot stress this enough, do not do what we are doing and try to make it like go farther and fly it next to an airport or whatever, because you will. I don't know what the FAA regulations are off the top of my head, but I guarantee you there are some. There are regulations for building your own aircraft and flying them, and of course, I believe you're limited once you're above tree level. For planes at least, then that's a flight, and you have to do it in specified aircrafts. Because, especially, I mean, it might be different if you're endangering the life of only yourself. That's on you, I think.
Well,
don't quote me on that.
You still can get in pretty big trouble.
Yeah, understood. But yeah, I just think that
We are
if
doing
you're
this.
putting yourself in danger, then that's on you.
We are doing this in an area when we do test it for actual flight. We are going to do it in an area that is far enough away from an airport so that the highest it could possibly go would still not be high enough to interfere with the airport. So we will be fine when it comes to interference with airports. The other big problem is safety because if, let's say, it does fly well, and then you nosedive, well, you're going to break your legs on impact because you're going to hit the ground really hard. So, well, yeah, that's what I do as a lead in safety. I take fun out of everything. But we are going to do this, and it's going to be tested dozens of times. It's going to be tested with weight. It's going to be tested without weight. It's going to be tested a lot of times. We suggest, I'm speaking for the both of us, that if you do something like this, please put in time for research and development. Don't just wing it, even though it is a wing.
Is that a pun?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So alrighty. So as for aerodynamics here, here, you want to take this up? Here we have an airfoil. Now I took this off of a website and I was able to draw it up. It's divided into a couple of sections, but the cord line here, if you flip it around, this is the basic idea of the airfoil is you've got the cord line and then the center of balance, I believe, is somewhere around here. I forgot to mark that when I was doing it. But so we will probably, if we go with the airfoil design, then we will probably use something around these lines.
Well, we both know the problem with using an airfoil. And the problem is not aerodynamics, and it's not safety, it's material.
So
We don't have a lot.
So this 6 mil tarp that we were looking at is only 20 feet by 25 feet, and so we do not have a ton of room to work with. That's 20 by 25. I can't do the math off the top of my head. I'll post it up here. But so the other idea is we do something along these lines where we can kind of like start the tarp here and then curve it around to get the same airfoil, and then basically the structure we'll use maybe foam ribs or something for like insulation. How well can you see that? Okay.
Pretty well.
Then we can use foam ribs to make the shape and bend it around here.
Yeah,
This will be a stabilizer. We'll have other stabilizers maybe here and here.
the only problem that
Going across like so.
the only problem that might have is most air, it's gonna hit it, it's gonna go over, it's gonna do its normal thing. But if you get an airstream that goes under, then it might want to go up there and not be good.
Not necessarily, because that's how parachutes work. You've got it, and kind of inflates the wing.
Parachutes aren't supposed to fly laterally. They're meant to go slow, and we're trying to get enough speed so that we can take off. But
can you stand aside so I can see?
Yeah. I just want to erase that line.
Okay. So yeah, so this will be enough. You'll get rollover here, so it'll kind of go like this, and then kind of like discombobulate and kind of push off. Whereas the real lift that you want is coming up under here. So his point is that if you don't have anything to protect the underside here, then you're gonna have it. It's gonna go up in and kind of like balloon the fabric. So we've got fabric.
And it would also slow it down.
Yes, and it could provide additional drag. Now, of course, there's things that we could do to work around this. But okay, I don't know.
And we have worked on parachutes before, so we do know
That works great, by the way.
We do know a good
This
amount.
This was for ARC 10, and because we were using a trash bag. So,
Yeah.
as a parachute for the last time, but this one works great, fits in just well, and everything. Anyways, so that's the plan for the airfoil. As for structural support, we don't know what the construction's going to be of. The ribs, the airfoil ribs might actually be made of wood, very thin wood that's glued together in a series, or it might be cut out of the foam in the shape of the airfoil that I just gave out. Yeah, thin like this stuff and very small strips.
It appears to be just like 3-ply wood. Has like normal grain, cross grain, normal grain. Very, very strong stuff.
Well, not necessarily.
Except it's also heavy.
Well, with this stuff, when you get it thinner, it starts to deteriorate because it's layered like that, so it will.
Like a skateboard.
Yeah. But so there's that. We could do it the cross hatching basically out of wood, out of that kind of wood, or we could do foam cutouts, which I would probably go with. We could put stabilizers around here, as I drew right here, and then ones like right here that would go across, and it gives us a lot of room, a lot of structure to support I would say gondola almost underneath the wing. Would you agree?
Yeah. And you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and find things of insulation that are this big, like bricks of insulation foam. And if we use foam, that's probably what we're going to use. We're probably not going to use anything that has fiberglass in it because fiberglass sucks.
Well, it's fantastic, except it's stupid expensive.
It's also just stupid. But that's because...
Sorry about that. We were having some arguments, as we do in most of these cuts, as to what the best material might be. But we still don't know. I don't know why we're still recording this right now, because we never came up with an actual consensus. However, that would be something we would be working on. We're going to get a whole bunch of different materials and do some modeling, and that'll be for the next video. This video was just for the plan. I think that about covers it. This is the extent that we know. We're going to do some more research. We might have an actual drawing of it later. That's still unsure. I think we're going to go to the craft store, though, and get a whole bunch of stuff to make the actual glider.
Right.
And the model that's about this size. And we're gonna have to experiment with different balancing methods, because again, I don't know how we're going to be able to control this properly without it being well balanced, because we're not going to have the tail section.
Yeah.
I think that about does it. Is there anything you want to add?
No. I think we've covered it. We've covered what we're doing. We have not covered why we're doing it. Did we?
Why we're doing it?
We don't really have too much of a reason.
No.
We're just doing it just to do it because it's cool. And it'd be an interesting story to tell our grandchildren if we end up breaking a leg. So that'd be cool. We talked about why you shouldn't do it without doing more research than we did. And yeah, I think that's it.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.